How do you start your own business? And how do you make sure that you're thriving as an entrepreneur and business owner? If we're just meeting, my name is Caroline Raven. I'm a full-time magician, YouTuber, content creator, and entrepreneur. I've been running my business for the past 10 years, and I am here to guide you through this magical forest of whatever. You know what, that's what we're doing. I want to be real with you today. If you are thinking to yourself, maybe it's time I start my own business, or maybe it's time I just level up the business I'm currently in, I am here for you. I have done a bunch of different research. I have read so many articles, and I'm here to tell you that they're all saying basically the same thing, but in different ways. If I were to start a business, I'll tell you my first 7 steps I would take. Maybe you've been here before and you're noticing there's something wrong with my background. I have these small bags over here with numbers on them, and yes, we are currently preparing for the Christmas Advent calendar. I'm so excited. In this year's Advent calendar, I am doing something very different. I am gonna give you 25 pieces of business advice. You're absolutely welcome. It's gonna be practical things for you to take away to make sure you are leveling up in the business you're currently in, or so you know that you can start a business in 2024. Thank me later. I found an article online on Entrepreneur India where they're basically just talking about how you can fund your startup. I don't think that's necessary for everybody. If you're here listening to this, I'm assuming you're either a magician, content creator, interested in creating your own business and somehow making sure that you are providing for yourself and your family by gigging and doing things, you know, the thing you're doing. So you already have all the tools you kind of need to get started. So you don't really need the funding. So we're gonna move on from that one right away, even though all the links are gonna be in the description if you're interested in reading up on all of the stuff that I was reading. I did find an article by Forbes that I really like though, and they're giving it 7 different stages of entrepreneurship. And they come from a different perspective. Number 1 is create your business idea. It might seem simple enough just to come up with an idea, but I really want you to take this serious. Like, what is your idea? What is it that you want to do? For me, it all started with me doing magic shows, and you see how that went. Now, actually, I still do magic shows. I still love it. I do a couple of shows every week, and that's my main source of income. And I'm so happy that I have magic because it's brought me to you guys. No, but it's brought me all over the world, and I'm so happy to have magic as my foundation in my company. And then it started bleeding out into different things. I started doing videos, I think it was 2019, and then the pandemic hit and my show had to come into a studio like this. And so after the pandemic, this is what I started doing. I started talking in front of a camera and it was great and I loved it. And then that ended up being, you know, part of my business as a YouTuber and also having my own platform now. So think about your business idea. What is it that you want to do and how can you make sure that you deliver that as a business? Remember, everything can be sold. If there's a demand, you can sell anything. Which brings me to number 2 on Forbes' list. Do the research. So if you're just starting something and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, this is a brilliant idea and nobody's ever done this before, that might not be the best thing for you to do at the very first thing you're doing. Well, I mean, there was no such thing as Spotify, of course. There was no such thing as IKEA or whatever, but people were still sitting and sleeping, and listening to music. So if there is already a market for what it is you want to sell, that's gonna be so much easier for you because you know that there is a demand out there. Look at the research, see what other people are doing, be inspired, don't copy, do not copy. Yes, I now said it twice because now it's important. It's like that hippo is in Madagascar too, where he's like, my name is Moto Moto, name is so good, you say it twice or something like that. See how other people are marketing themselves and see how you can be inspired by that. And then as number 3, Forbes suggests that you start writing a business plan. How are you gonna make money off of this? Like, what are you selling? How are you selling it? Who are your clients? What kind of need are you filling? A lot of people are either running from something or towards something. And in my case, I knew that people were, dreading having a boring Christmas party or whatever. So I'm solving that problem for them. I am bringing an amazing show. We're gonna have a great time. People are gonna be interacted. It's an interactive show and people are gonna come on stage and it's gonna be a great fun. But that's the problem I'm solving. If I'm being frank, I'm also solving your problem right now because you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, how do I start my own business? And I'm here to tell you exactly how to do so by giving you a couple of different variations of how you can actually do this. Number 4, Forbes is telling you to save money, which is good if you're planning on, starting a bakery or something. You're gonna need some funds to be able to do this. But if you're a content creator or a magician, you already have what you need to be able to start. So if you're a content creator, just hit record and you create your own content, you start editing it and you're good to go, right? As number 5, they say to apply for a small business loan. Again, I don't think this is necessary if you're gonna start a business like this one. Number 6, find investors. Again, not for everybody. And then as number 7, be innovative, which is a beautiful word, is it not? Innovative. in Swedish. I find this is too much focus on money. I find it like, why do I have to focus on bringing in the money? Well, of course, bringing in money is important in any business, any product that you're selling, any service that you're selling. But I feel like this is too much of that. So I want to give you a different perspective. If you are an entertainer, content creator, an entrepreneur that just wants to start your own business journey, you don't need all of that. Masterclass has another way of thinking about this, another way to approach entrepreneurship. And their 7 steps are: 1, finding your purpose. Yes. Love that, that's great. Number 2, identify the problem you can solve. And moving on to number 3, make your first prototype. This is focusing on you having an actual product to sell. And then, this is probably my favorite one, sell the problem, not the product. Just listen to that. Sell the problem, not the product. If you know the problem that they're having and you're describing it in such a way that they understand that, oh my God, you know exactly what I'm feeling, the sell of the product or service is gonna make it just so much easier. Number 5, develop your brand story. Number 6, build a culture of scrappiness. And number 7, stay connected to your why, which brings us back to number 1, what is your purpose? I think this is a way better definition of the 7 steps of starting any business would look like. I also found another article by Forbes, I'm also gonna link that one down here, which basically has a different angle to this, but it's very time consuming and it's about doing pricing and timelines and you know what I felt? They're just making it so difficult, and it doesn't have to be that difficult. If you have a passion for something, if you know your why, just go out and do it. Everything else is gonna fall into place. And if you want the 25 different steps of entrepreneurship in my journey, you know what? I'm gonna make it even better. The entire advent calendar is gonna be free for you to watch. It's gonna start with the goal, the why, and then we're gonna move to all of the things that you are gonna need. And we're gonna end everything the 25th of December with a little, I think it was Elon Musk that suggested this, instead of having baby showers, we should have business showers. Oh my God, what a great idea. So a business shower where we're gonna celebrate the successes you've made so far. In December, you're probably not gonna sell anything, but the idea is for you to make sure that you have a solid foundation and you're ready to kickstart your business in 2024. Or if you already have a business, to level up to the next stage. There is a link in the description below. Speaking of leveling up, if you want me to have a deeper look into your business and make sure that you're thriving even more in 2024, I do offer consultation hours. Everything you need to know about that is in the description below as well. If you're getting any value of this, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to this channel and turn on those notifications so you know exactly when the next video is coming out. And let's go back. So if we were just to do this my way, 7 steps I would do. I would start with my why. Why are you doing this? What's your purpose? Why do you want to do this? Because there are going to be so many shitty days if you're starting your own business. It's going to be hard sometimes. The pandemic sucked for me. I lost so much money in a matter of days. It was terrible. It all started March 16th, where everything just fell apart here in Sweden, and it was the absolute worst nightmare. I had to go back to my why. Not go back to the selling spare parts for cars where I used to work back in the day. So I could still stay true to my why and be creative during a very hard time. So that would be number 1, find your why. Number 2, I would start to think about my brand already. I would start to think about the name and the colors and the feeling I want to have. I remember when I did my first tour, my director asked me, after our first meeting, he asked me, Caroline, what do you want people to say when they leave the theater after the show? And my first thing was, I want them to say, oh my God, I love Caroline. She was so fun. I love her so much. I want to invite her for dinner. Because that's what's important to me. I want them to feel like I'm there with them and I'm their friend and everything is great and we're having a lovely time and I'm amazing and they're amazing. And that feeling. So if you can sit down and just think about this, what is the feeling you want to portray to these people? What is something that you want them to feel when they're thinking about your brand or they're talking about your brand and they're seeing your brand online? Think about that. It can be very impactful. What does your brand smell like? I mean, you can go so deep into this if you wanted to. And I think it's a great idea just to take this time to think about this. Like, what is your brand? Who are you? And also going back to the why are you doing this? Step number 3. I would write myself a big business plan. I don't have one right now, and I feel like a hypocrite saying this to you, but if you want to take this seriously, write down a business plan. Who are your clients? How are you gonna sell it to them? How are you gonna make money? And all of these steps, and everything is just gonna fall into place for you. Step number 4, I would start doing research. And I would not just, Google magicians, if that's what I'm doing, or Google content creators, if that's what I'm doing. I would actually go out and see them. I will go to the shows, I will go hear what people are saying. You know what the best place is to hear what people are saying? Is to go go to the bathroom after the show and just listen. What are people saying to each other? You can do that to your shows too. It's scary. It's really scary. That's why I always ask my friends to do it for me, and then they spy on people and they tell me if they loved or hated the show. Yeah, that's a very nice way to do it. So that would be my number 4. Number 5, I would start all of my socials. I will make sure I have the same handle in all of the social media platforms if I can. I would have a website set up and all of that stuff. That would be my number 5. Number 6, I would go deep into networking. I would meet so many people. I would just connect with everybody and make sure that I reach out. I would make sure that we're connected on LinkedIn, and which is a great platform, by the way. Really dig into networking. Kind of on the same theme. Number 7, I would get authority. I would make sure I was in front of the right people, audiences, and talking to newspapers, trying to go on radio, podcasts, and even better, I would try to get on a TEDx stage. As I'm recording this, I've already done 5 TEDx talks, and let me tell you, it gives me so much authority. People love it, and they're calling me again and again and just asking me to do this stuff. The first one I did in Sweden, I did one in Poland, I did one in India. It's been great for my brand. It's been great for my authority. So those are the 7 steps I would personally take. I want to end this with a question. What is currently stopping you from pursuing your dreams, letting go of everything that you have ever done and known, like working for somebody else, trading your time for money? What is holding you back and living out all the creative freedoms that actually comes with running your own business? And how can I help? I hope you enjoyed this video of how you start your own business, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.